My name is Jessie Perrine. My husband is Matt, and we have three daughters. Valoria is 5. She turned 6 on Christmas Day. And Cirilla is 4, and Margo is 2. Yeah, Margo, her personality is really spunky. Um, she's kind of the problem child. She always has been. My husband and I always joke about it. Valoria was always a hard child, and then Cirilla came and she was great and super easy. And then Margo came and she's just like way above. um, they took like blood levels just to see what was going on, and they noticed that the iron in her blood was really low. But she like her blood count was low too. So she hadn't had any injuries, so they did like an MRI to see what was going on, and they noticed like a mass in her head. Um, and they knew that they had to get us either to St. Cloud or to Children's Hospital right away. Unfortunately, the weather was bad that day. It was April, so it was like really windy, and we somehow got a snow shower that day, so they couldn't put us on the helicopter like they wanted. So they had to like bring us down in the ambulance going really slow, and that's when they kind of started that saw that the seizures were getting more. When we got to St. Cloud, things started off slow. Um, and then all the doctors kind of came rushing in, and her, she was having a lot of troubles breathing, and that's when the doctor like looked at me in the eye and told me that he was worried about her, that we could lose her. After I was told that, the chaplain, uh, um, I almost fainted. I was just like so. I was having a really hard time. So the chaplain kind of brought me out to a waiting area so they could work on her. And that's when I called my dad. Um, that's when I called my dad and asked for prayers.
I had received a call when I was driving one day from my daughter Jessie. She had called on my cell phone, and she was pretty upset, asking if we could pray for her daughter Margo. They were in the emergency room at St. Cloud, and they were having a pretty tough time dealing with what was going on. She talked very shortly on Margo and her condition being very serious, and then she had to get off the phone because she just couldn't talk. A chaplain got on the phone at that time to explain that Margo was in a very serious condition. They were going to be shipping her out by ambulance to another facility in St. Cloud, and to Children's. That's right, to Children's Hospital in Minneapolis, and the chaplain said it was really serious, not sure if she was even going to make it or not. But our daughter had asked for prayer. So we had, as soon as I finished the conversation with my daughter, I called Nancy. We got together and prayed, and saw some miracles develop from that. She was pretty rough shape going from St. Cloud to Children. She had actually passed away. They had used a defibrillator on her to bring her back. We didn't know this at the time, but we knew it was pretty rough.
came to church on Sunday, and we had altar call and went in front, and the church prayed for us. And as the church was praying, I felt God touch me in a miraculous way, and he said, "You got your healing." And we continued to pray through the week, and on Wednesday, God impressed upon me that we needed to go see Margo. We needed to go see her, and at that time they weren't letting anyone in to see Margo except for her parents. And we called Jess and asked if we could come see her. And she said Friday would work the best. So we went up on Friday and walked around for quite a bit, talking with Jess and stuff, and we just out of the blue said, "Could we go see Margo?" And she goes, "Well, I don't think so, but we'll ask." And the nurse let us in. So we got to see Margo, and we went in, and she was just laying in bed. She couldn't move, she couldn't talk, she couldn't, she could only use her eyes. She couldn't move any part of her body. She just moved her eyes. She followed us around. And Mark had asked Jess, "Is it okay if we just pray for her?" And Jess goes, "Yes, would you please pray for my daughter?" And Mark laid hands on her forehead, and I grabbed her foot. And as we prayed, I felt that same sensation that God gave me on Sunday. It started from my feet, went up through my hands into Margo. And I knew that our little girl was healed. And when we had left Children's that day, it was about an hour later, Margo's dad called, sent a message and said, "Margo just smiled at us." And a few hours later, Margo was talking. On Sunday, when we prayed, somebody said it would be little by little, bit by bit, and God proved that.
Right when we got home, the first thing she wanted to do was go swing in the backyard. And that was like something she did with her sisters pretty much the day before this all happened. So it was like we kind of picked up where we left off.
Oh, did you find my broom? Thank you. Thank you, honey.